Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about something in Legends that we're going to talk about today. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell for every upload that I upload to the channel. Let's get started. That Legends is really in a bad state. A little bit. I wouldn't say it's the worst of the worst, but if you get it. But my thoughts on Legends is what it is today. I'm making this video today because I want people to know, understand of Legends right now, that it is in a bad state and then somewhat good state at the same time. So Legends is really bad right now for the new releases of the characters. Between Yamcha and Goku, they're both bad units, but Yamcha has been doing very good in damage. That's one good thing, but at the same time, both characters are still bad. Either way, it doesn't matter if both of them do damage or not, they're still bad units. And that's what I think. But I'm not quitting Legends. And the reason why I'm not quitting Legends is because of the free-to-play units in the game. Now, that's my reason not to quit the game of Legends, because the developers gives us free-to-play characters in the game where it's actually good to grind for. Depending on their status, their abilities, you know, stuff like that, and what they do. I have grinded all of those free to play units currently that I have. I just don't use them very much, but that's because I haven't been playing the game as much, because there's so much things that they're not doing for us in the game. They're not giving us good rewards at all. They drop the Chrono Crystals like crazy, and they don't give us enough events, so that's another red flag. And they don't give us more raids to do in the game to grind for Chrono Crystals or slot removers, basically erasers and stuff like that in the game. But as for all these characters that they have released so far on the banners, has been extremely well done. Ultra Golden Frieza, very well done character, but the issue is his ability to encounter everybody. That's the major problem. It's like they're good at making these ultra units, but it's not necessary to make them too broken to the point where people can't encounter him. Just like Ultra Gohan. Now, to be honest, Ultra Gohan is one of the best Ultra characters that I think so far in the game, but making his ability too broken to the point where people can't really encounter him fully is the problem in Legends. They need to stop making these Ultras too broken. They don't need to be that broken. They can be broken, but not extremely broken to their abilities. They don't need to be encountering everybody. That's not okay. Like, that's not fair play in the game. And you know, it screws up the PvP system, where players won't be able to use all the characters that's supposed to be fully utilized the way they are meant to be used, and they're not getting used because we have these ultras. Now, I'm not saying they should stop making ultras. No, I want them to keep making ultras, but they need to stop making them so broken. They don't need to be that broken. Like, hands down, they don't need to be that far. Like, Ultra UI Goku, okay, that's a cool character, but he doesn't need to be that broken. Ultra Golden Frieza doesn't need to be that broken. Um, Ultra Super Vegito Blue. He's a very good unit, but he's not extremely broken. But he is broken enough that people still use him in the game because he goes neutral twice. So that's one good thing about him. That is a cool ability, but it's not the most broken ability. Because the most broken ability right now as an Ultra character is Ultra Gohan. He's the worst. He has the worst ability in the game, like hands down. Like it's too broken. They need to take that out. Like it's too much, for the game to even handle that much of that ability for one character to encounter every single character in the game. That's not okay. Like I get that this game is not fair to some characters that are not at the same power level, but it's not about the same power level. It's about making the characters compete with each other without making them too broken, where everybody gets a chance to use all the characters to the best of their ability by showcasing these characters. Whether it's free to play, ultras, LF characters, sparking characters, extreme characters that needs to be used in the game that are not used. You know what I mean? Like, look at all these ultra units they released so far. You really think these ultras are the main broken characters in the entire game? No, not really. Not all of them are actually broken. And if you take a look at Kaioken times 10 Goku right there at Super Saiyan Blue, he's actually the worst Ultra in the game right now. He is hands down, he's the worst Ultra. His damage is not even there. Like when he dropped, it was there. Like it was extremely high, but ever since he's been out and released, his damage has been falling off like crazy. So now he isn't really relevantly good anymore. People don't even use him because he's trash. He doesn't do any damage. Like Ultra Gogeta Blue, Ultra Super Gogeta, Ultra Rose, Ultra Hit, they all do damage, even though they're not the main broken characters in the entire game. They still are very good in the game. They're still used, just not used in every single PvP match, but they are used. And, if you take a look at Ultra Super Saiyan Goku, he is one of the worst free-to-play Ultra character in the game, but the best one ever as a animation-wise character. That Ultra Super Saiyan Go has the best animation. I do like the Ultra Omega animation as well, but it's in black and white, so it's not really as cool as you might think. But he's cool enough that he was used as a free-to-play unit when he came out. And there's Ultra Super Saiyan 2 Gohan here, the most broken unit in the entire game right now. Ultra Golden Frieza is another broken character too, as well. But I have to say that Ultra Golden Frieza is not as broken at it as Gohan's ability, because remember, his gauge encounters everybody, so that's the problem. They need to downgrade that. That's going too far for one Ultra to even handle that kind of ability. They should have took that down a little bit notch, because that was a little too far. They gone too far on that Ultra Gohan, just to be honest. Like, I don't like players using that character. That character is already despised now. So, I really don't suggest characters be using the Ultra Gohan too much, because you're gonna make people want to quit the game, and people don't want to play it no more. So that's why these players need to stop using Ultra Gohan, because it's going to force these players to quit the game, and you're not going to have fun to play PvP using this broken Ultra Gohan. Like, let's be honest. I'm not saying you can't use these Ultra units. I'm saying don't use the most broken Ultra in PvP matches every day. That's you're overdoing it, especially as these Ultras. And like I said, I use these Ultras too. I used Ultra Gogeta Blue. I use Ultra Super Gogeta. I don't really use Ultra Super Saiyan Goku because he doesn't do any damage. But But some of these ultras, like Ultra Vegito Blue, I still use them. The only reason why I still use Ultra Vegito Blue, this red one right here, is because he's not the most broken Ultra. He's just good enough to be used in PvP where he can actually fight people, fight players in PvP fairly. Ultra Super Vegito Blue is a fair Ultra. That's why I use him. Now, Ultra Brawly, fair unit. Ultra UI, he's not a fair unit. He's actually a unit that can counter everybody as well. But his damage is about to fall off, but not yet. He's still doing a lot of damage. A lot of players still use him right now, but he's gonna fall off harder than Ultra Gohan and Ultra Golden Frieza because he's been used too much. Like Ultra UI has been used way more than Gohan, but Gohan is he's getting up there. Like it's ridiculous how people use the same units every day in PvP. I don't see how these players can be using the same units every day. I when I play PvP, I gotta use different characters. I can't use the same characters every day. So, am I gonna quit the game? No, I'm not gonna quit the game because of that. I'm actually going to continue playing Legends, but I'm not going to be using the same characters in every single match when I'm actually trying to showcase different characters that I definitely want to use and try, because using the same characters in PvP is so boring. Like, I don't see how these players can actually run the same unit every day. They should be already getting bored of using the same character. Like, let's be honest. Now, I can't stop them from using the characters, but they need to understand using different characters makes the game more fun. Let's be honest. So, my thoughts on Legends is like, the game is very dry. They don't give us good rewards in the game. They don't give us free Chrono Crystals enough in the game to even summon on the banner. Let's be honest, those banners are garbage. Those rates are hands down the worst rates I've ever seen ever since I started playing this game. The rates has been, well, when Legends started, the rates were actually good because a lot of players was able to pull a lot of characters. But now, ever since we got anniversaries and new characters, those rates got worse. And it's every time they release the anniversary, the rates get even worse, and they don't even increase the rates to make it better for everybody to have fun to play the game with getting all these new characters. Now, most players can't even get all these new characters because the rates are so bad that you can't even pull these characters. Look, I didn't even pull Ultra UI. Like, the rate was so bad. Like, the rate was 350% on pull rate. That's trash. That's a trash rate. I was not able to pull Ultra UI at all. Everybody else did, except me. I don't think that's fair for everybody to get, for other players to get shafted in the game and other players don't. And you can't even play PvP because you're running into a new character that you cannot fight against because you don't have the same character. You see what I mean? Like, this game is it's crazy. The developers have been making big mistakes making these Ultra characters too broken. Like, they don't need to be that broken. They just need to be more powerful than a Sparking. That's all they need to be. Just more powerful than a Sparking character. Which is what there are for the Ultras. They are better than the Sparking characters. But the issue with the Ultras is that they don't need to be making those gauges broken to the point where nobody gets a chance to play PvP. That's the problem. And I just want players to understand that using the same characters every day is not going to make you happy. Let's be honest. Running the same characters every day is so boring. Like, I don't even want to fight against them. When I want to showcase the character, I don't want to face Ultra Gohan and Ultra Golden Frieza all the time. Switch up. Use a free to play character or something. Like you can use a Zenkai character or something. Like use something else. Like why you gotta use the same character every day? Like don't you realize those characters are gonna be downgraded farther than those characters that are not used? Because the characters that are not used are the most valuable assets in the game because you get to have fun. You get to use different characters. But if you're using the same characters every day, the ultras that are valuable are gonna be not valuable anymore in the future. The longer they keep making these ultras broken, they're gonna be no longer valuable because they're gonna be too broken. So the best characters in the game right now are the ultras, but technically the fair play units are actually going to be the one that are going to make people happier because you're using different characters because you're switching up and you're actually putting out good content. Using the same characters every day is not good content. That's boring content because you're using the same units every day. You know? And not only that, most players don't even know how to play PvP. Like, there's the way these players play PvP is not how you play PvP at all. Like, hands down, these players have no experience in the game. These players in PvP, all they do is click cards. They just click cards. They're not actually developing any type of strategy or skill to even learn how to play the game right. But no, all these players are doing is lag switching and cheating in the game and having poor internet, and that's not how you run the game. That's not PvP. That's just going against the policy because like some players might be giving away their accounts and you're not supposed to do that, especially if you're a player in Legends. You're not supposed to be borrowing accounts, lending accounts, giving away free accounts. Not even supposed to be doing that. If you don't want to play the game no more, just delete the account. That's all you got to do instead of just handing it over to other people. Like you're not supposed to do that in the game. That's the rule and the policy of the game is you're not supposed to do any of those actions, especially when it comes to cheating in PvP, lag switching and dropping internet connection intentionally. That's cheating. That's not relevant. That's not how you play the game. All that's just cheating. That's you're not following the policy. So that's also another problem in PvP as well. And I've also noticed that the PvP matchmaking is also getting worse, which is also not good. So that's my thoughts about the game right now. It's like it is in a bad state, but it's also in a good state because we have good free-to-play units that people want to grind for. Like the April Fool's Raditz, that unit, hands down, one of the best free-to-play units I've ever grind for. And I like using it. So, using using free-to-play Raditz was the best grind that I've ever done for the game and showcased. Because I don't like using ultras too much. I actually like to use different characters in the game. But as for, I can't stop players from using the same characters. Do your thing, but just letting you know you're never going to be happy running the same units every day. I'm just, hands down, you're not going to be happy. Because those units are going to be getting very boring. And you're going to be wanting to quit the game. You're going to be burnt out. Because the only reason why some players quit the game is because they keep using the same units and don't switch up. And that's a major problem. And people stick to ultras way too much. So, sometimes you just gotta leave these characters alone, and sometimes you'll go switch up and use some Zenkai characters or, some free-to-play units or something. Use something different, like use different characters. Just because those characters are not on the boost doesn't mean you can't use them. You just gotta have fun with the character, whether they're not powerful or not. Those characters can be weak and still be fun to play with. Like, Some weak characters got cool abilities. You never know, but at the same time, like I said, I understand why people don't really use the why players don't use free to play units, because they're not as strong or not high damage enough as the ultras, which I get that. But those free to play units are better to use because they actually are fair play in the game. That's what I'm basically saying. Because these not fair ultras here, they're ruining the game because they're making them too broken. Like, it's forcing players to quit the game. That's why a lot of players have been quitting the game, and some players are not caring to play the game because people keep using the same units over and over and over, and that's a problem. So that's my thoughts on Legends. If you like this video, what do you guys think of Legends? I think the game is bad, but also good for the free-to-play units and free-to-play players. So I'm gonna end the video here. Thank you guys for the if you watched the video. See you guys in the next video. Peace out.